Ever since our mayor, Bob Buckhorn, took office, he has been touting the Republican National Convention as a great showcase for the entire Tampa Bay area. He's been a believer from the day one, and the mayor has stopped by with us today for a couple of minutes out of your busy schedule. It's great to have you here.
It's good to be here.
Are you sleeping?
If you put that pillow close to me, I'd be out in about 5 seconds.
But really, from day one, you said if we could get a convention here, what a showcase it would be for our area.
Well, Kathy, you know, everyone looks at this from a partisan prism, and for us, that really hasn't been the case. Certainly for me, this for us is our opportunity to shine on the world stage, and to tell Tampa's story like it's never been told before, and to be able to perform in an environment that we have never been before. I mean, other than the Olympics, this is the second most watched television event in the entire world, and we are dancing on that stage. And so, it could be a vegetarian convention, but anybody who brings $150 million in capital to our economy, anyone who allows us to tell Tampa's story to the world, it's all about economic development. It's not about partisan politics, and this city has risen to the task. I couldn't be prouder of how well our folks have performed.
Yeah.
I mean, everywhere I walk in the convention center, people say to me, this is the most welcoming, most friendly community that we've ever been in. I mean, those couple thousand volunteers that are out there greeting these delegates and visitors from the moment they get off the airplane till the moment they leave on Friday have been tremendous. I mean, they even greet me. You know, welcome to Tampa. I'm like, it's okay, I'm the mayor. You know, it's a.
You know, and I have to say, knock on iPad, we've heard about no huge major disruptions. I mean, I know you were braced for anything. Law enforcement was prepared, unless they haven't told it, which I can't imagine. With all the media here, we haven't heard about it. Really nothing.
It has
nothing
been
of significance.
Yeah, I mean, I can't tell you how proud I am of Jane Castor and David Gee and all the troopers and deputies and officers that came.
How many of them are out there?
There were probably close to 3,500.
Wow.
And I went into this with the theory that I was going to prepare for the worst, and we were going to train for the worst. You know, having seen what happened in Seattle and seen what happened in Minneapolis, St. Paul, and hope for the best. And that is exactly what seems to be happening. We deployed overwhelming force. Everywhere the protesters go, and particularly the anarchists, we are right there with them. We're not going to let them get out of control, and we're not going to let them hurt any of our police officers. And so that relationship has been very respectful. We've accommodated them. We realize that this is a very fluid environment. I mean, they're not always going to stick to the protest routes. There will be spontaneous protest, and we deal with it. We move them. We flow, and we allow them the opportunity to say what they want to say. Now, if they don't do what they're told to do, we'll deal with them. But we have had less than half a dozen arrests.
Which is nothing.
It's nothing.
That's
yeah.
your average day.
Yeah, I think Chicago 3 weeks ago. Yeah, no, we arrest a lot more than that on an average day.
On a daily basis. I think all the criminals are staying home. You know, around the country, Republican leaders are giving you kudos for saying Bob Buckhorn's doing a good job in Tampa Bay. This Democratic mayor.
Well, you know, I'm agnostic for the purposes of this convention.
That's right.
I mean, I really, this to me is not a partisan event. My Democratic credentials are intact. But this is an opportunity to tell Tampa's story. I mean, this is an opportunity to tell my city's story. It's not a Democratic story, it's not a Republican story, it's the story of Tampa. And so I am honored that we were chosen to host them. We've worked hard to put on a good show for them, and I couldn't be prouder of the way Tampa has performed so far.
What was it like to address the convention yesterday?
It was pretty exciting. You know, as much as I do these things, you know, to be there at a historic moment, you know, even though it was the Republican convention, even though they did have a trap door underneath me in case I said anything that veered from
little shock thing.
Yeah.
There he
But
goes.
no, it was great. It was those were just fellow Americans who were out there, and I wanted to thank them for choosing us, and I wanted to tell them a little bit about where they are and why Tampa is such a special place.
What do you think will surprise people who are visiting here for the first time about Tampa Bay?
I think the beauty of it. I hear that wherever I go. I think, you know, the diversity of it. I mean, we are black, we are white, we're Hispanic, we're gay, we're straight, we're young, we're old. We represent what America looks like. And that's impressive. And that's a true strength for us. And I think the warmth of it. I mean, they really have gotten a very, very warm reception from the people that live here and the people that have put this convention on. And so I think for the most part, I mean, there's always going to be snafus. There's always going to be a bus that doesn't show up on time. But I think for the most part, the convention delegates, the Republican Party, And all of the others that have come here will walk away from this saying, gosh, I never knew this place existed. I want to come back.
I mean, the waterfront,
Yeah.
the Hillsborough River, the bridges
Yeah.
being lit up. I mean, it's just stunning.
The
It
city
really
has
is.
never looked better.
No,
It
that's
really
true.
has never
It's all
looked better.
dressed up for a party.
It is, but you know, the nice thing is, and I said this when I lit up the bridges, I said, this is not for the RNC, this is for us forever. And so we're going to maintain all this stuff. These are some of the great legacy projects that come out of hosting an event like this, both from the wireless infrastructure to the aesthetics and the beautification projects. And so we're going to maintain it. This is what Tampa should look like every day, every year, because the way a city feels about itself is largely driven by what it looks like. And so for me, aesthetics matter.
So we get to keep some of the goodies.
We do.
We get to keep the lit bridges.
We do. Yeah.
And what's the wireless system?
AT&T upgraded the entire wireless infrastructure in downtown Tampa. I mean, they spent millions and millions of dollars to upgrade it because obviously the demand during the convention, as people were tweeting photos and sending emails and sending pictures, the capacity wasn't there. So they upgraded the entire downtown infrastructure. And so we are now running AT&T is running all 4G light throughout downtown. I mean, it's blazing fast. That will all remain behind.
Palm trees.
Palm trees,
Beautiful,
yeah.
beautiful. Every time I see a palm tree, I go, Mayor Bob Buckhorn is saying another tree in place.
Oh, it's
Beautiful.
great. It's great. I love driving down Bayshore
Yeah.
Boulevard now. Bayshore looks the way Bayshore should look.
Yes, yeah.
You know, the amenities, the gateways coming into downtown, all lit up, all landscaped. You know, the Riverwalk is coming together. The new docks behind the History Center. The bridges lit up. The minarets lit up. Tampa Museum lit
Gorgeous.
up. I mean, it is a spectacular picture that the 15,000 members of the media that are here this week will shoot. And that's what the world will see about Tampa, Florida.
And like you mentioned, there are greeters everywhere. They've been welcomed warmly. The visitors have been welcomed warmly with, I don't know, Southern hospitality.
Absolutely.
I guess you might
you know,
say.
these volunteers, and I think there's upwards of 4,000 of them. They're Democrats, Republican, Independents,
That's right.
no party affiliation, but they love their city and they love their Tampa Bay area, and so they want to tell Tampa's story. And who better for these guests to hear that from? Not just from the mayor, but from everyday folk who want to tell them what a great place this is and how proud they are to be Tampanians or to be from St. Pete or Clearwater. I mean, it really, they have done an amazing job.
Very briefly, long-term impact on our economy from this.
Well,
what do you think?
I think 10 years from now, we will look back on this day and we will say this is where Tampa came out. This is where Tampa realized its full potential. This is where, when people across the globe think of Florida, they don't just think of Miami and Orlando.
That's right.
They think of Tampa in the same sentence. And that translates to economic development. It translates to business. It translates to us truly becoming the gateway to the Americas. This is a pivotal moment for us. I mean, we're only going to get one shot at this. I mean, I truly believe this is our time. And out of this will come an entirely different city as we know it.
Now, I'm going to go here in just a minute, but Thursday at the RNC, there is a mystery speaker.
It's not me.
Are you sure?
It's not me. I don't think it's Charlie Crist either.
Mayor Bob Buckhorn, you've
Thanks,
done a
Kathy.
great job.
Thank you,
Great
Kathy.
job. Keep it up for the rest of the week.
I will.
Thank you,
Thank you.
sir. All right, going over to Frank now to talk about the impact of MacDill Air Force Base on our economy.
All right.